Hey, yo, welcome to the Blue Plate Special. It is real live music right here in beautiful downtown Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're just here hanging out inside Visit Knoxville. Feel free to come join us if you like. And if you can't be here with us, you can slide on over to the WDVX Facebook page where you can watch it streaming live right now. Visiting with us from Columbia, South Carolina, Admiral Radio is here and will be up the second half of the show today. To get things started, he is based out of Fort Worth, Texas. Y'all give a great big welcome to Keegan McInroe to the Blue Plate Special.
Said you look broken-hearted, too stoned to play this game. I said the world's gone crazy. How can we live like nothing's changed? She said just lay your head down. You don't have to do a thing. We can just talk about it. It all costs the same. Stone, broken hearted, the end of all days. He looked up, said, "Why you crying, mama? Your eyes are sad and red." She said the world's gone crazy and I gotta raise you here. But don't we have all we need, mama? Don't you make sure of that? She said, of course, my baby. Now let's get you off to bed. Stone, crowd gathered around them as he wrote in the sand. They all wanted blood, but didn't want it on their hands. And as they all departed, he was heard to say, "The world's gone crazy, sister. To not be broken will be insane." Stone, broken hearted, at the end of all days. Stone, broken hearted, at the end of all days. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's it's a song called Stoned and Broken Hearted. It'll be the third single from the upcoming album I got coming out in September. The single Stoned and Broken Hearted comes out on Friday, so 2 days from now. Yeah. This next song I'd like to play for you is not going to be on the new album, but it's one of my favorite to play right now. I'm sure everybody has somebody in their life who, especially over the last 3 years, maybe you've one of you calls the other one and says, "My God, did you see the news today?" And your brother, or your friend, or your mother, or whoever says, "Yeah, I can't believe it." And you say, "I can't believe it either." And then the next day, one of you calls up the other one and says, "My God, did you see the news today?" And your mother, brother, whoever says, "Yeah, I can't believe it." You say, "I can't believe it either." And then the next day, one of you calls up the other one and says, "My God, did you see the news today?" Ad infinitum, it just keeps happening daily. Just gets stranger and stranger. So anyway, my brother is this person for me. We talk pretty often about all the weirdness going on in the world. So I wrote this song for him. It's called "Hey Brother." It's a wild world, hey brother. Yes, I saw the news today. I guess we've said it every day, but it's a wild world, hey brother. Just gets wilder every day. Just gets wilder every day. Hard to see how things might change for the better. It's a wild world, hey brother. And if it all goes to hell, if we wind up in jail for not doing as we're told, we'll be standing by each other. It's a wild world, hey brother. It's a wild world, hey brother. Yes, I saw the news today. I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's a wild world, hey brother. Probably always been this way. Probably just a human race. Well, if the world's a stage and life's a play, it's probably always been this way. And if they merge us with machines, we're blown to smithereens, and this life on earth is done, at least we'll have stood with each other. It's a wild world, hey brother. If this crazy world don't end, if somehow love and reason win, can you imagine our surprise when we smile at each other? Say it's a wild world, hey brother. Yeah, then we'll laugh with each other. It's a wild world, eh, brother? Thank God. Thank you so much.
This is Keegan McInroe with us here today on the Blue Plate special. Wasn't it nice how those sirens showed up for your very
right
first
at the very
chorus,
beginning? I thought
right?
that was perfect.
Was nice, yeah.
This is very appropriate. I actually called in to the Knoxville fire station earlier and asked them if they could come by at
We
about
could just time this
12:08.
just perfectly,
Yeah.
and it went off without a hitch. All right. So, Keegan, how long you been making music?
Let's see here. I got.
You said you'd been here like years ago.
Yeah,
right?
I was here about 12 years ago.
Okay.
11 years ago. It was 2012. I think it was right before I started going. I spent a lot of time in Europe, beginning in the fall of 2012, and I think it was maybe a week or two before that trip. I came out here with a friend and played the Blue Plate special and a few other gigs.
Okay. So, so obviously you've been playing longer than that. Mm-hmm. So how long? I mean, how old?
Making
were you?
a living since 2006. Probably played my first gig live around 2002 or 3 when I was in college in Fort Worth.
Okay.
And so, yeah, eking out a living for about 20 years now or so.
All right.
15, 17 years, whatever.
Have you always been a songwriter as well?
I started writing poetry when I was young, so it was a lot of bad poetry until I got a guitar, and then I started writing bad songs with the poetry. It's amazing how you can convert a bad poem into a bad song really easily. And so I did that for a while, you know, and then I started slowly thinking, okay, maybe there's something to this, getting a little better. But yeah, I got a guitar when I was about 17, so storytelling comes natural to me, I guess, in a way, and so that was how I kind of got my start, I guess.
All right. So let's talk a bit about, you've got a new project that's going to be coming out in September, so tell us about that.
Yeah, the album is called Agnes. I named it after Saint Agnes, or Santa Ynez, after the church that I recorded it in Terlingua, Texas, out in the far west of Texas. There's a ghost town called Terlingua. Have you been out there?
No, I've got a Viva Terlingua.
Viva Terlingua album, yeah.
I've got the album too.
Yeah, the Jerry Jeff Walker.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I think that was actually recorded in Lukenbach, though. But yeah, Viva Terlingua was a great one. So anyway, there's this ghost town out in Terlingua, Texas, and they have this old adobe church called Santa Ynez. So I met this engineer from Santa Fe. He's got a studio in Santa Fe, but he fell in love with that area, and he bought a little house, and he's recorded several albums in this church. There's a little bitty adobe church there. And so when we talked about doing the album, I thought, well, if I'm going to be in Agnes's church, I need to figure out who this was. And so I read the multiple accounts of her story, which is a very sad one, and kind of took that as my theme. And anyway, took a band out there in November last year, and we did a run of shows on the way to Terlingua and back, and then spent about 3 days in the middle there in the church recording this album. Cool. And I took a buddy of mine out in January, and we finished with some overdubbing. He played some harmonica on it, and we wrapped it up. And so got 2 singles out. One's coming out, the third one's coming out on Friday, and then there'll be one out in August, and then the album drops September 22nd.
All right. So for the full project, you can keep your eye out at KeeganMcInroe.com, and it's with an I, Mac, I-N.
I-N-R-O-E, yeah.
Okay.
Distant cousins to John McEnroe, apparently. The story goes that my mom's father's, so my granddad's granddad came over from Ireland with a couple of brothers, and I think it was my granddad's granddad who changed the spelling to M-C-I-N-R-O-E. That's how the story goes. I have no idea, you know, I wasn't there. That was a long time ago, but anyway, so people know John McEnroe, of course, and yeah, distant cousin somehow. Somehow.
So, yeah, keep an eye out there on the website for the complete project. But again, Friday, that new single will be out. He's headed back to Texas, but got some gigs on the books there, so you can check the website out there on the website as well. And there's merch available right over there after the show. You all can shake and howdy with him afterwards. And thank him for making music for us here today. But I'm going to back out of the way. We'll get more music from Keegan McInroe on the Blue Plate special.
Thank you. And thank you all for being here. This is a nice crowd here on an early day on a Wednesday. Post 4th of July, y'all are all very brave. So I mentioned Agnes. I guess I'll play the title track of the album. It's called Agnes. Agnes in her long white robe, a girl with a sword at her kneels in defiance and silence as her last tears flow. With her final breath, she prepares for the blow. Agnes, with a mind of her own, refuses the wrong father's son, and in defiance she cries out, I will not be controlled. My hand is mine to give, my choice is mine alone. Oh Lord, please help this sad and broken world. Agnes, only 12 years old, an enemy of the gods in Rome, stands in defiance as tyrants strip her of her clothes. One by one they turn away as her long hair grows. Save for one who she prays will be restored. Agnes, bound in ropes, shrouded in flames and smoke, breathes in defiance to their violence as the fire grows cold. But her accusers still accuse her, death is all they know. Still she prays, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. What pure thing ever remains? Lust and greed, pride and vanity, once they've seen, don't seek to kill or destroy. Agnes in her long white robe, child with a sword at her throat, kneels in defiance and silence as her last tears flow. And with her final breath, she prepares for the blow. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. That's a sad story of Agnes there. All right, let's see. I got time for what, maybe two more? One more? If we move quickly? Two more if we move quickly. I'll move quickly here. This is this first song I'm going to play of the two is a song I wrote when I was talking to this nice girl. Things were going so well. I'd already written one song. I started writing another, and then things went badly, this songwriter lady, and so I had to change gear mid-song. It's called Only to Be Songs. Were you thinking about me when you were pouring out your sad heart? Said you don't want to stop. Now the sad songs keep falling from your pen with the falling of your teardrops. Were you singing about me when you were singing about that dark room? I hate to presume. Well, I know I'm not the only one who's fallen at least a little from a morning, evening, afternoon, and night with you. Oh, but we went walking, talking about the beauty and the magic in the natural world around us. Sat on an old park bench, deeply breathed each other in, made love on the kitchen floor past dawn. And now it's broken, choking on the madness beneath the weight of all these heavy days we're living. What a shame to think that you and I are only to be songs. Were you winking at me when you were standing beneath those bright lights? With that smile so wide, me grinning like a fool, falling a little more for you, eating up and trying to hide this love sick. Oh, we went walking, talking about the beauty and the magic in the natural world around us. Sat on an old park bench, deeply breathed each other in, made love on the kitchen floor past dawn. And now it's broken, choking on the madness neath the weight of all these heavy days we're living. Oh, what a shame to think that you and I are only to be songs. What a shame to think that you and I are only to be songs. Will you write about me like you wrote to me this morning? Where there's no play at all, and all your warmth is gone, and I don't know who you are, and you don't know me. Yeah, it's broken, choked on the madness neath the weight of all these heavy days we're living. What a shame to think that you and I are only to be songs. Ah, what a shame to think that you and I are only to be songs. moving along very quickly. Thank you so much. So my mama has a big Victorian house in Dublin, Texas, and it's haunted, of course, because it's old and it's Victorian. It's all wood, and so it creaks a lot, so it's obviously it's haunted. I wrote a song about it called Never Seen a Ghost, and that'll be my last song. Thank you all so much for listening to me. Well, I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. 1912 and the wife's away. The husband, the housemaid, and the devil play. 9 months later, there's a baby girl. Well, she'll grow up hated, but she won't grow old. I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. 1918, the man's away. The wife grabs a knife as the devil sings. The moon gives light where the child lay. And now there's blood on a rug and a mother screams. I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Well, there's footsteps on the stairs, and there's footsteps overhead, and the shadows on the wall that make me wish that I was dead. And the TV won't stay off, well, it's as loud as it can go. And there's pennies in the rafters, and some pictures overturned, and there's creaking in the hallway, some pictures overturned. And there's even been a baby heard crying out for help. But I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. I ain't ever seen a ghost in this old house. All right, y'all have a good one. Thank you so much.
That's Keegan McInroe. You can find more information right there at KeeganMcInroe.com. And feel free to stop by the merch table after the show and certainly shake and howdy with them afterwards. And thank you for making music for us here today. Support for the WDVX Blue Plate Special comes from listeners just like yourselves. From the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the Tennessee Arts Commission, Visit Knoxville, and Barley's down in Knoxville's Old City, home of the Big Plate, Fridays at noon. Tomorrow, here on the Blue Plate Special, Gavin Lee and Sean Taylor will be with us. On Friday's Big Plate, it's the Vertical Birds. And on Saturday, Mick Harrison and Kevin Abernathy will be here. Now, that's just the live performances on the Blue Plate this week. But there's a lot of other things going on this week as well. As Friday night is First Friday, and that means Taps and Tunes on the corner right here inside Visit Knoxville. That's at 6 p.m. with your host, Evie Andrus, and West Wind will be the guest Friday night here at Visit Knoxville. Then the following day, this Saturday, is Kids Stuff Live. And that's a show kind of like a Blue Plate made for kids, but adults are allowed to come as well, but it's geared towards smaller people. And this month, the guest is Aunt Boo's going to be Sean's guest this Saturday. So that means on Saturday, you get a Kids Stuff Live at 10 o'clock. And then it's followed by a Blue Plate special at noon with Mick Harrison and Kevin Abernathy. And then later that afternoon, Saturday evening at 6 p.m. at Bissell Park in Oak Ridge, it is the ORNL FCU Summer Sessions with Yarn and Sam Bush, y'all. It's a free show, I'm just saying, Saturday evening. You can find information on all of these live shows coming up this week by visiting our website at WDVX.com. So we're going to get to know them just a little bit better here in just a minute. But for now, y'all give a great big welcome to Admiral Radio, to the Blue Plate Special.
Kicked off my shoes, you were feeling the hearts from the music, playing some chords and you were humming a tune. Said I wrote a song and it sounds like you, it sounds like you when it rains all day. It sounds like you when that guitar plays. Every line in the songs I write, sounds like you. I called from the road, said I was feeling blue, was having a hard time missing you. But it don't matter, anywhere I go, I carry you with me in my soul. It sounds like you when it rains all day. Sounds like you when that guitar plays. Every line in the songs I write, everything I do sounds like you. It's like I hear you all around. It's in our home and it's all around this town. When it rains all day, it sounds like you when that guitar plays. Every line in the songs I write, everything I do, come on, buddy. Everything I do, come on, Knoxville. Everything I do sounds like you.
Thank you. This is our first time playing in Tennessee, our first time ever in Knoxville in general, so we're so excited to be here with y'all.
Thank you so much. So we're Admiral Radio, and we hail from Columbia, South Carolina.
Has anybody ever been to Myrtle Beach out there in the audience? Okay, maybe some folks listening at home might have gone to Myrtle Beach. Well, we wrote this song for you then. It's called 2-Star Motel. This is a little love song.
Well, we broke down on the side of the road again, and the light came on, and that's 3 times now in just this month. But who's counting? And I'm so glad that old man, he stopped to help us out as we waved him down. And he told us up the road to some town we didn't know, until we saw that vacancy sign. Well, it could be the Ritz or Beverly Hills, but I don't care. Any place is just as well. As long as I'm with you, I can't tell. In this 2-star motel. This always seems to happen, don't you know it? When we try to get on to where we're going, yeah, the brakes are shot, the money's gone. We just keep driving on until we see that vacancy sign. Well, it could be the Ritz or Beverly Hills, but I don't care. Yeah, we could be in Paris, France, or even in the middle of nowhere. It don't matter where we go, I hope you'll always know any place is just as well. As long as I'm with you, I can't tell. In this 2-star motel.
This is Admiral Radio with us here today on the Blue Plate Special. Let's start with, were you two musicians independently before you became Admiral Radio?
Becca
Yeah.
was. So we met around 2014. We were both living in Charleston, South Carolina at the time.
And we were down there in school, but we met waiting tables. So, we were both waiters at a restaurant down there, and music was something that we had in common.
Yeah, Becca was doing her own music. She was writing and performing and doing really cool things. And the only extent I had to music was really playing guitar in my room. I'd never written a song. I'd never sung out in public before. And then it just kind of, I started learning Becca's songs. Eventually I would perform them with her. And then we just started writing songs together, and that's kind of how it began.
And years later, we became what we now are as Admiral Radio.
Yeah, around 2019.
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah. So it took a while, you know, it was just something that we had in common. And years later, we ended up writing our first song together.
All right. So I read the story, but yeah, why don't you tell the story of the name?
Sure. Yeah. So we're called Admiral Radio. And if you are here today in the Knoxville Visitor Center, you can actually see a cool little model of a later version of an Admiral Radio over there with some other really cool radios. But we have a 1941 wooden Admiral radio that stands up about hip height. And we got it at an old little antique store. If you come to our house, which y'all are all welcome to one day, we have a lot of hand-me-downs and secondhand things. We really don't have anything new. So I was in the market for an old radio. My uncle had one. I said, I want one like that. So I went over to my favorite little vintage store, and there was one sitting in the corner. It was about $30. And I just brought it home. My dad said, hey, did you know that your late grandfather was a top salesman in South Carolina for Admiral in the 50s? You know, for years he was, the top radio and TV at that time salesman for Admiral. Back in the day, Admiral was like saying Apple. You know, it was just a household name. And so the history of radio and how it was such a connector for people, that was the main source of news and entertainment. So we kind of like to think of ourselves as doing that. In a way, you know, we can gather together and gather around our version of an Admiral radio. But Cody actually came up with the name, and it took me a little while to latch on to it.
Yeah, if you've ever tried to come up with a band name, it's really hard because it has to sound cool, but it also can't already be taken.
Yes.
So when you have an idea, you're like, oh, that's pretty solid, it's already taken.
Yep.
So I was just driving down the interstate one day, and I called Beck. I was like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
She was like, I don't know.
I was like, it's kind of hard to say, Admiral Radio. He's like, you're thinking about it too much. Let's just go with it. So that's how we got our name.
Well, you all have the opportunity to shake in howdy with them afterwards. They do have merch available. Your current project that's a live project, right? Is that recorded live? Is that?
We're actually right now, we are in the midst of releasing some more singles.
Oh, okay.
We have some new songs coming out at the end of the summertime.
Yep, we'll do maybe one at the end of the summer, one this fall. So
Yeah,
we'll
so-
put out a couple for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah. And you can always keep in touch. For the folks who are here in the studio, we have an email list. We call it our radio romp. So we send it out about once a month with where we're playing and new songs that we've got coming out. But anybody who's tuning in online, you can tune in at admiralradiomusic.com to sign up if you want to know when the singles are coming out and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just a friendly check-in. Nothing.
Nothing major.
All right, so keep an eye out at admiralradiomusic.com for those singles to be dropped. Friday, they'll be in Chattanooga. Saturday, headed over to Black Mountain, North Carolina, and you can find the complete tour schedule on that website as well. I'm going to slide on out of the way so we get more music right here from Admiral Radio on the WDVX Blue Blade Special.
Driving down the interstate, all I see is red tail lights. Everybody's in a hurry, so I let them pass me by. It's funny how the world spins faster every day. I don't know about you, but I sure could use a break. I'm driving in the slow lane right now. This life's too good somehow. Think I'm gonna slow down for a change. there said, son, that's a losing game. I'm driving in the slow lane right now. This life's too good somehow. Think I'm gonna slow down for a change. We're all gonna get there just the same. Slow lane. I'm driving in the slow lane right now. This life's too good somehow. Yeah, think I'm gonna slow down for a change. We're all gonna get there just the same. Slow lane.
Thanks. Hopefully our drivers out there in the car might have heard that one and took that one to heart. I used to have a big battle with road rage. So for anybody who might be out there on the road, I hope that might inspire you or anybody here today to just slow it down.
Slow it down.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's all going to be all right. So anywho, Cody and I are Admiral Radio, and we are husband and wife. We got married in February of 2020, right before
Yeah, we just
all
snuck
the
it in.
world. Yeah, we had no clue at that time what was about to happen. A few weeks later, everything went crazy. But in between that time, we've had to figure out a different path. We both became teachers. Cody's still a teacher. I didn't make it. But anywho, we love to write songs together, and it is our true passion that we love to share. So Cody actually kind of wrote this one, right?
Yeah, this song started with an idea from a friend of ours who had recently, at that time, experienced losses of separate couples that he had known. And he's like, hey, I have this idea, check it out. As soon as I read it, I immediately went to my grandparents' relationship, because at that time, my grandparents were together for about 50 years. My grandmother had just passed away, and I was thinking about how I was watching my grandfather live on without her. So this is a song about that.
So don't worry, we're gonna bring you back up again, but we're gonna get a couple. We're gonna, what is it? They say, pluck on your heartstrings for a minute here.
I cut down that pecan tree, was hanging over the house. Lost those 20 pounds you always stayed on me about. And I keep thinking one day I'm gonna walk back in the house, and you'll still be there. That you'll tell me it's about time. Your notes are still on the refrigerator door, just like you left. I framed that picture you loved. It's sitting on a shelf, and every Friday night I dance all by myself and put your records on. But I guess I gotta do this on my own now. Our table will always be set for two.
'cause everything in here still smells like you. And I promise to keep my end of the bargain, the one we made the day we said our vows. And I'll keep crossing off the list the things you wanted fixed. I'll try to show you I still love you somehow. I'm up now every morning for the setting of the moon, when all the world is quiet. It's when I talk to you, and at the end of the day I'll call you on your phone just to hear you say I'm sorry. I'll call you right back. I guess I gotta do this on my own now. The hard table will always be set for two. I can't bring myself to part with your belongings, 'cause everything in here still smells like you. And I promise to keep my end of the bargain, the one we made the day we said our vows. And I'll keep crossing off the list the things you wanted fixed. I'll try to show you I still love you somehow. But I guess I gotta do this on my own now. But our table will always be set for two. I can't bring myself to part with your belongings, 'cause everything in here still smells like you. And I promise to keep my end of the bargain, crossing off the list the things you wanted fixed. I'll try to show you I still love you somehow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is Admiral Radio with us here today. They got one more tune for us here, but how about one more round of applause for Keegan McInroe, the first half of the show here today. Join us again tomorrow. Gavin Lee and Sean Taylor will be here with us. You can always find out who is headed in our direction by visiting our website there at WDVX.com. We are a community radio, listener supported. There's always a donation box in the back of the room. A little love in the bucket keeps the good music going here on the Blue Plate Special. AdmiralRadioMusic.com for more information. And both of our performers have merch available, y'all. You've got the chance to thank them for being here with us today. Again, Admiral Radio headed down to Chattanooga on Friday, and then Saturday, Black Mountain, North Carolina. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. Will you all close us out with a last one?
Absolutely.
Yep,
Thank
you
you
got it.
so much for having us. All the wonderful things y'all do. Make sure to tune in and support this wonderful radio station, or Admiral Radio.
Well, babe, I know that I've been doing you wrong. I keep on singing you the same old song. And every time I promise that I'm done, but you still let me come back. Oh. With all the things that I've been putting you through, I've been selfish, I've been a fool, and I've been playing you right out of tune. And your leaving is over. Yeah. Well, baby, this is my last shot. I don't deserve the love I got. If it were up to me, we'd already leave, but we both know that you're not. So next time, forgive me not. What if we were never set in stone? I hate to say it, we're better off alone. And now it's time for me to say goodbye. I don't need to tell you why. Yeah. Well, baby, this is my last shot. I don't deserve the love I got. If it were up to me, we'd already leave, but we both know that you're not. So next time, forgive me not.
I see what's going on here, right?
I try to tell you all the time, but you never believe. Well, baby, no, I'm not the only fish in the sea. So why do you keep running on back to me? Oh, baby, this is my last shot. I don't deserve the love I got.
No, I don't.
If it were up to me, you'd already leave, but we both know that you're not. So next time, forgive me not. Forgive me now. Come on, forgive me now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Admiral Radio. Thank y'all, and join us again next time for more real live music on the Blue Plate Special.